ॐ अजाय नमः। ॐ अव्ययाय नमः। ॐ अविनाशिने नमः। ॐ अचिन्त्याय नमः। ॐ अप्रमेयाय नमः। ॐ अद्वितीयाय नमः। ॐ अनिकेताय नमः। ॐ अनुशासनप्रियाय नमः। ॐ अन्तःसाक्षिणे नमः। ॐ अन्तर्यामिने नमः। ॐ आनन्दाय नमः। ॐ आत्मस्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ आङ्ग्लभाषाविदुत्तमाय नमः। ॐ ईश्वराय नमः। ॐ उदारहृदयाय नमः। ॐ उत्साहवर्धकाय नमः। ॐ एकस्मै नमः। ॐ ओङ्कारविदे नमः। ॐ करुणासागराय नमः। ॐ कर्मपरायणाय नमः। ॐ कालातीताय नमः। ॐ कैवल्यस्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ कृतात्मने नमः। ॐ कृतकृत्याय नमः। ॐ गीताज्ञानयज्ञप्रचारकाय नमः। ॐ गुरवे नमः। ॐ गुणातीताय नमः। ॐ ग्रन्थकृते नमः। ॐ चिन्मयाय नमः। ॐ छिन्नसंशयाय नमः। ॐ जगदात्मने नमः। ॐ जगत्साक्षिणे नमः। ॐ जनप्रियाय नमः। ॐ जितेन्द्रियाय नमः। ॐ जीवब्रह्मैक्यविदे नमः। ॐ जीवन्मुक्ताय नमः। ॐ जीर्णमन्दिरोद्धारकाय नमः। ॐ तपोवनशिष्याय नमः। ॐ तपस्विने नमः। ॐ तापनाशनाय नमः। ॐ तीर्थस्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ तेजस्विने नमः। ॐ देहातीताय नमः। ॐ द्वन्द्वातीताय नमः। ॐ दृढनिश्चयाय नमः। ॐ धर्मसंस्थापकाय नमः। ॐ धीमते नमः। ॐ धीराय नमः। ॐ धैर्यप्रदाय नमः। ॐ नारायणाय नमः। ॐ निजानन्दाय नमः। ॐ निरपेक्षाय नमः। ॐ निःस्पृहाय नमः। ॐ निरुपमाय नमः। ॐ निर्विकल्पाय नमः। ॐ नित्याय नमः। ॐ निरञ्जनाय नमः। ॐ परमाय नमः। ॐ परब्रह्मणे नमः। ॐ पावनाय नमः। ॐ पावकाय नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ प्रसन्नात्मने नमः। ॐ फलासक्तिरहिताय नमः। ॐ बहुभक्ताय नमः। ॐ बन्धमोचकाय नमः। ॐ ब्रह्मनिष्ठाय नमः। ॐ ब्रह्मपराय नमः। ॐ भयनाशनाय नमः। ॐ भारतकौरवाय नमः। ॐ भूम्ने नमः। ॐ महावाक्योपदेशकाय नमः। ॐ महर्षये नमः। ॐ मधुरस्वभावाय नमः। ॐ मनोहराय नमः। ॐ महात्मने नमः ॐ मेधाविने नमः ॐ यदात्मने नमः ॐ यज्ञकृते नमः ॐ लोकप्रसिद्धाय नमः ॐ वाग्मिने नमः ॐ विभवे नमः ॐ विनोदप्रियाय नमः ॐ विनयशीलाय नमः ॐ वीतरागाय नमः ॐ वेदान्तवेद्याय नमः ॐ शान्ताय नमः ॐ शान्तिप्रदाय नमः ॐ शास्त्रोद्धारकाय नमः ॐ शुद्धसत्त्वाय नमः ॐ श्रुतिपारकाय नमः ॐ श्रोत्रियाय नमः ॐ सन्न्यासिने नमः ॐ समबुद्धये नमः ॐ सच्चिदानन्दाय नमः ॐ सर्वहितचिन्तकाय नमः ॐ सत्यसङ्कल्पाय नमः ॐ सन्तुष्टाय नमः ॐ साधवे नमः ॐ सुमनसे नमः ॐ सुहृदे नमः ॐ स्वयं ज्योतिषे नमः ॐ स्थितप्रज्ञाय नमः ॐ क्षमाशीलाय नमः ॐ ज्ञानमूर्तये नमः ॐ ज्ञानयोगिने नमः ॐ ज्ञानतृप्ताय नमः ॐ नित्यशुद्धबुद्धमुक्तस्वरूपाय नमः ॐ नित्यशुद्धबुद्धमुक्तस्वरूपाय नमः ॐ नित्यशुद्धबुद्धमुक्तस्वरूपाय नमः ॐ श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः ॐ श्रीचिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। In this project of explaining 108 names of Pujya Gurudev, it is known as Namavali, Ashta Uttara Shata Namavali. These 108 names expressing various characteristics of a Mahatma, a great soul. Mahan Atma Yasya Saha Mahatma. Mahan Atma. All of us are Atman only, the self only. And therefore we constantly take selfie. Don't you? Because we are so fond and so much in love with ourselves. That's why we take selfies. But a Mahatma is one who sees himself in everybody. And therefore he is called Mahatma. Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita, Mahatma is a very difficult person to even get to see and be associated with. Mahatma Sudurlabha. And if at all we have come across either in person or reading or understanding the teachings of such a personality, we are all to be understood to be very lucky. Today morning also I was talking about even human birth itself is a great luck. It is said in Vivek Chodamani, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Labdva katanchin narajanma durlabam tatra pipumsvam shrudipara darshanam. Even as we have got the human birth, that itself is a luck. Labdva katanchin, somehow narajanma durlabam, this human birth which is very rare. Tatra pipumstvam. Even in that human birth, how many of them have the steadfastness to remain with certain values, certain principles, and certain sensitivity about the rest of the living being, having some definite goals in the mind, pumstvam. And also Shruti Paradarshanam, and ability to understand what the scriptures are directing us to realize. Labdva kadanchin narajanma durlabam tatrapi pumstvam Shruti Paradarshanam. If a person is like that, and such a person, if such an individual, nahyatma muktau yatatena mudati, atma muktau, such a person who is not, such an individual not ready to release himself, atma muktau na yateta mudati. Deluded person is one who does not put any effort to release oneself from all the bondage. Sahyatmaha swam. Such a person is called one who has committed suicide. And how is he doing that? How is that we are, in spite of the fact we know that we are bound, and yet we are not taking any effort to overcome that? Don't you think it's a suicide? If somebody is blind and falling into a pit is okay. Well, wide open eyes and you fall into the pit. Then you call it as what? Foolishness. Why? He says that it is because he is so caught up in asadgraha. Asadgraha means holding on to what is not true. Asat. Asat means nasat. And in Tamil there is a word called asad. Asad means one who is holding on to asat. It's called asad. Asad means stupid. So how can that be an individual who, knowing well, making a mistake? If you don't know and make a mistake, you are forgivable. Knowingly make a mistake, you are stupid. If by mistake somebody fooling you is okay, but you are allowing somebody to fool you, then what will you do? So, therefore, living as a human being, If at all we have come across a person who is a Mahatma. Who is a Mahatma? Mahatma is one who has the alignment of thought, word and action. Manasi ekam, vachasi ekam, karmani ekam, Mahatmana. His thought, word and deed are in one single path. Such a person is called Mahatma. Meaning there is no ambiguity or there is no friction or disintegration between what he does and what he says and what he thinks. Ours is wonderful. We think something, we say something and do totally different something else. Our thinking and doing has absolutely no connection. So here, if a Mahatma of such a caliber has come amidst us, taught us, given us direction, we are all really, really considered to be blessed. And so when we are giving the description or explanation on various names of Gurudev, we have come now to the 19th, which is, as it is given here, Karunaaa-Saagaraaya Namah. A teacher of this kind must be infinitely compassionate. Karunaaa-Saagara. Na Karunaalaya, Sagar. Sagar means ocean of compassion. Why ocean is referred here? Ocean of compassion, because there is no end. There is no beginning or end. The depth is also not known. Such a person's compassion is so vast, everybody is included. And in this world, we respect and dearly consider someone only when such an individual gives love to us. Isn't that true? One who gives love alone is the foremost in your mind. Everybody else is different. Of course, one who hates also you keep in mind. That's another thing. Like Ravana constantly thought about Rama. Kamsa continuously thought about Krishna. So that also is on the other extreme. And this extreme is why Radha is considered to be the most beloved, or for Krishna, Radha, and Radha for Krishna. Why? What did he give to her? Love. There's so many other characters are there. But what is associated with Krishna is only Radha. He had other Rukmini Krishna. How many of you have Rukmini Krishna? Name itself is not there. Wife is not important. One who loves is important. So, we see that for a guru, the student is a very important part of the guru's life is whoever is suffering out of one's own misunderstanding must be given help. For a guru, that is the primary duty. And for a student, it is not a scholar that he should reach to. He should reach to a person who has gained the knowledge and he has a loving gesture of sharing that knowledge, not selling that knowledge. Knowledge should never be sold. It is a sacrilege. Knowledge is not anybody's property. Especially spiritual knowledge is nobody's property. And that's why Gurudev used to say, the knowledge comes to us from the Paramatma himself. And how can you claim ownership of that? Sadashiva Samarambha, isn't it? It's coming from Sadashiva. or Narayana, let us say. How can you claim to be the owner of that knowledge? That is why in our Shastras, whatever is said, some of them are repeated in many places. What is said in Kathopanishad, you will find in Gita also. No copyright. You have a right to copy. Because it's a wisdom. Anybody has a right to copy. You cannot say, I said the wisdom, therefore you should not take it. Then it's not your wisdom. In today's world, everything is about copyright. And our scriptures have absolutely no, everybody can copy anywhere and everywhere. Why? Knowledge is to be shared. In context, if I have to quote you, I'll quote you. I don't need to pay anything for that. So a Mahatma is one who understands that I am only an instrument in the hand of God and I am here to help anyone who is suffering due to one's own misunderstanding. And that is the reason why Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita, Tadvidhi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam. Jnanina tattvadarshina. If you go and surrender to a teacher, Tadvidhi pranipadena. Pranipada means to fall. Pranipadena. Very well you fall at the feet of the teacher. And what you should do is pariprashna. Prashna karo. Ask questions. Only when you ask questions, he can understand what maturity you have. If a student is there who does not have any questions, that means he is not thinking. You will see in Bhagavad Gita also. The question that was raised by Arjuna in the beginning is, what is Dharma? I am confused. Tell me what is Dharma. But as you proceed on to read, you will understand his questions are becoming very sophisticated. Becoming more and more fine-tuned, which means he is thinking. It is said that there was a monastery and Zen master was living there and many other disciples were also there. And the Zen master said that we are to constantly meditate and you are allowed to ask questions only once a year, one question. I may answer, I may not answer, but only once in 365 days you can ask a question and that's all you are allowed. Next of the time, just follow instructions and meditate. So one boy who joined, after one whole year, he went to the Zen master. I have a question. Yes, only one question. Why the roti is very hard? That is a question. Now you understand the quality of the student then. Second year. What's your question? My bed is very hard. Now you see, the question reflects the nature of thing that is going on in the mind of the person. Third year. What is your question? It's not a question. I'm quitting. So in Vivek Chudamani, a beautiful text, the way Shankaracharya has written how a student should approach this teacher. And what should be the response of the teacher also. Interesting. Swamin namaste nataloka bandho karunya sindho padidam bhavabdo mamuttari ma. He says first of all, Swamin namaste. Oh dear teacher, I salute you. Nataloka bandho. You the one who is friend of those who have fallen down. Karunya sindho. Oh, the very ocean of Karuna. Patidam bhavabdhau. I am fallen into this world of samsara. Mamuttariya kataksha drishtya. Please lift me up with your kataksha drishti, compassionate side glance. Compassionate side glance. What do we mean compassionate glance? Even if you consider me as a student, I want your grace. So, the whole idea is the student should approach the teacher in such a way, he must tell him that I am surrendering to you. If the surrender does not happen, still the ego is there, however much the teacher would teach, the recipient won't be there. Kataksha drishti. Swamin namaste nataloka bandho karunya sinto patitam bhavapto mamuttariya kataksha drishtya. With your only compassion alone you can lift me up. Now, what is this compassion? Let us come to that. Compassion can come only when there is dispassion. It is not affection which comes out of bonding, feeling of bonding. Like a mother has for the child, or a friend has for another friend. Compassion is without any particular reason. That is what is compassion. Karunaā, Kripa. This Kripa is not, it's sympathy. It is empathy. You should understand that why there is a word, two words then, otherwise. Sympathy is when somebody is suffering and you consider that person to be, given some attention. Whereas empathy is where you feel identified with that problem. Empathize. A person of sympathy may have the intention to help the other person, but with an idea that I am helping. Empathy, on the other hand, where an individual does not consider himself is greater than the other person. Because the student who is now coming to surrender reminds him how he surrendered to his teacher and how his student has given him, his guru has given him the right knowledge by which he had uplifted himself. That upliftment from the level of being a suffering individual to become a blissful, joyful, free, that happened because of the Guru's grace. And one remembers, if I have received the Guru's grace because of which I have uplifted my understanding, I have the responsibility to do the same thing. And therefore the student says to him, Durvara samsara davagni taptam dodu yamanam duradrishtavadaihi Pītam prapannam paripahi mrityo sharanyamanyat yataham na jani. I am going through an amount of suffering. This samsara is a great suffering. Somebody would say, Swamiji, it's up TK. Na? Why are you unnecessarily putting ideas in our head? We are not suffering. We are comfortably there. We have all the requirements done and we have also some enough amount for my retirement also. Social security is there. Physical body is relatively healthy. People are nice. Why are you saying it's all? See, we are looking at ourselves only from the standpoint of the body or the mind. But within us, the soul is really going through a suffering. What suffering? It is still bound. See, we will not find that need for higher knowledge so long as our immediate needs are met. But immediate needs are met does not mean you are free. It is like, in a farmland, a cow is tied to a peg. And the cow can graze the grass to the extent the rope can allow it. Beyond that, it cannot go. So when it goes around and grazing, and finally after all the grass is over, I want to go further. You cannot go further. Why? Not allowed. It's tied. Correct or not? In the same way, our physical body, so long it is healthy, we think there is no problem. Once the physical body starts showing up its nature, I cannot. When you get up, you cannot sit down. You sit down, you cannot get up. And if it is not necessarily for physical body's ailment, it starts here. And likes and dislikes and hatred and prejudices. And if you do not have that also, everything is comfortable, blessed you are. Don't worry about it. But when we start observing ourselves, we come to realize that we are actually enjoying only the limited scope of enjoyment. Limited scope of freedom. So therefore, Durvara samsara tavaknitaptam. I am going through that intense heat of samsara. Dhutu yamanam duradrishtavadai. And this fire becomes more and more powerful as the wind is blowing more and more. Dhutu yamanam duradrishtavadai. And bheetamaham. I am so afraid. Prapannam. Me, the one who surrendered. Paripahi. Please protect me. Mrityoho paripahi. From death you protect me. Now, even as we are comfortably here with doing all these things, but nobody is escaping death. And even as the death takes away the physical body, the next birth you do not know which one is going to be. Never be sure that you are going to be human again. You won't even know. It doesn't look like that we will become human being again. And even if you are going to be human being, in the next 20 years, you can't even walk on the road. Your car will be standing and you will be walking only. So much of traffic everywhere, you cannot go anywhere. And so much pollution. Human beings create their own end, that's all it is. Everybody will be walking with some mask. So much pollution. So much of traffic, so much of competition. In Ramayana it is written that people will be killing each other like a fish eating the fish. Now what we famously known here as dog eating the dog. Fish eating the fish. I was in somebody's house, they had only one fish. I said, we have only one fish. Swamiji, we had one more, it ate. Therefore it is said, when you are having a fish tank, you must have 3. You know why? Because one wants to attack the other, the third one will come and attack this. So don't touch it. Because that is my prey. And so that fellow goes, this fellow will go attack. So all of the 3 are safe. If you have 2, very likely the other one will eat it. With 3, it's a little more safe. And now what we call a dog eating dog. It's more and more going to be complex only. Pītam prapannam paripahi bhrityoho sharanyamanyat yad aham na jane. I do not know where else I have to go for any shelter. Because this samsara is not something happening outside me. It is that which I am experiencing within me. It is something which I am experiencing within myself. More psychological than physical. And you may not believe that our psychological trauma is much more intense than physical trauma. Today morning also I was giving this example. In Germany they conducted a particular experimentation during the Second World War. And that experimentation is because they have captured certain prisoners, and during those times they did not have any law how to treat a prisoner. Geneva, right? Convention was not before that. So the Germans who was doing so many experimentation, they did with live human beings. And they took 2 prisoners and they told them that we are going to kill you by removing blood from your body. I just want to experiment this. How much time it takes to kill a person by removing the blood. And such kind of things have happened. So they put them into 2 different rooms. And in one room, they tied up that fellow, tied up his eyes also so that he can't see. Then put an injection and tube to remove blood from that person. And they put it in a container so that sound will come. Dup, 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 the blood falling down. And you hear it. And this person who was thus tied up, he can't see anything, he was tired and fatigued, and blood is taken out of his body. Slowly. The trauma of dying. Slowly. Losing his consciousness. Hearing that sound of blood being taken out. In another room, they put the second prisoner, tied up, blindfolded, put an injection, tube, and closed. Meaning, they are not taking the blood out. And instead, in the same bucket which is similar to the previous one, they put a small pot of water and a small hole. Dup, dup, dup. Blood was not taken out, unlike the previous one. The sound was the same as the previous one. He also died. Now, the first person's death was due to blood was taken out. Second person's death was due to what? Just a thought that my blood is going away. Fear. Now you see, most of our trauma or most of our trouble are not physical. Most of the time it is psychological. By my mere thought itself we persecute ourselves. And most of our persecution is only what we thought. He did it, she did this, he did that. It goes on endlessly. How much of physical? It's like somebody threatening you with a gun every day. We are not living in that kind of a society. So therefore, samsara thapa or the suffering that a person goes through is mostly psychological. Samsara durvara samsara davagni taptam dotu yamanam. I am the one who is going through this. Every one of us. And so, any amount of physical comfort that is given to you will not solve the problem. And the gurus, therefore, first and foremost rule is of a guru is give them a compassionate acceptance. Shanto, Shanta Mahanto, Nivasanti Santaha, Vasanta Vallokahitam Charantaha. Tirna Swayam. Tirna Swayam. They have already there. Tirna Swayam. By themselves crossing over this. Samsamaharnavam. Having crossed over themselves. Anyanapi. Ahetuna anyanapi. Tarayantaha. This is called Bhavarnavam. Arnava means again ocean. Tirna Swayam Dvirna Swayam Bhavarnavam. Bhavarnavam Swayam Tirna. Having crossed over the entire ocean of Bhava by themselves. Ahetunanyanapi Tarayantaha. Causelessly they will make others also cross. So the first and foremost thing is one should have crossed it. If you ask me to take you across the river when I don't know myself swimming, then what will you do? I will take you and drown you also. I don't know how to swim. Tirna Swayam. Having then therefore them crossed themselves. Bhima Bhavarnavam Janan Ahetunanyanapi Tarayan. And therefore this nature of the gurus are first of all Shanta. Peaceful. Mahanta. Mahanta means, Mahan, you know, in the north they call, oh Mahan aa raha hai, Mahan. Mahanta means Mahant, right? Maha-antaha, meaning one who has seen the final end. Shanta Mahanto Nivasanti, they live Santaha. Men of knowledge remain in where you and I are also living, but they are peaceful. The same world, because they have seen the final end. And why they are called Santa Purusha? Because in the Upanishad it is said, Asad Brahmedi Veda Chet. Such a person who does not admit the presence of the Brahman as Sat, he himself is Sat, Asat, sorry. Asti Brahmedi Chet Veda Santamenam Tado Viduridi. Who is Santa Purusha? One who has accepted the existence of the Absolute. Asti Brahmedi Veda Chet Santamenam Tado Viduridi. Asat Brahmedi Chet Veda Chet. If a person thinks that the very reality doesn't exist, he becomes Asat. Asanne Vasabhavati. Asanne Vasabhavati. Saha Asan Bhavati. He becomes non-existent. Asat Brahmedi Veda Chet. Asti Brahmedi Chet Veda Santamenam Tado Viduriti. That's why that words are very beautifully put. Shanto Shanta Mahanto Nivasanti Santaha. And such Mahatmas, when they are there, they are like what? Vasantavat Lokahitam Charanta. Like when the spring season comes, how every tree starts bringing out beautiful flowers. Even a tree which does not have any leaves also, suddenly flowers come out. And suddenly life comes out. Suddenly everything sprouts. In the same way, when a person who reaches the true Guru, what is even unimagined by the student comes out of him. He would not even think that that is possible for him. The ability of the Guru, out of his sheer compassion, can bring such a wonderful experience out of that student. Brilliance. Basantavallokahitam charanta. Tirna Swayam Bhima Bhavarnavam Janan Ahetuna Anyana Vitarayantaha. Having thus crossed over this endless ocean by themselves, without any cause of compassion, they bring about the release for the student as well. Ahetuna Anyana. And this Karuna, this Kripa, that's why Karunaaa-Saagaraaya Namah. that makes the saint distinct from scholars. A scholar also studies books after books after books. He can also give lectures. He can also convince you, but not the touch of a saint. Because when we listen to the scholars, we realize that they talk because they want to talk. Because they have to let it out somewhere. It is like some people come to me and say, Swamiji, I have prepared a new dish for you. Why are you making me the victim? You know, one house I was staying, and then I was asking the husband, does your wife cook well? He said, she has been experimenting on me for 20 years. I'm still surviving. There must be good. Be confident. Be assured. The scholars are those who have read too much, and then what do they do with that? They have to say. Whether the audience want or not, that's a different thing altogether. Yesterday I was in one program. I won't tell you. The scholars come and talk and they go on talking. Irrelevant. Because they know. And they have to tell people. They have to impress the others. So, far away from the main topic. Far away. I don't want to explain this to you, but I will. Arey, why? Because I know it. I want you to know that I know it. Unnecessary. They don't stick to what needs to be, what the audience need or what the listener needs. So Karuna or Kripa is that where, first of all, the teacher must have compassion and focused on how to uplift this person who has come with a problem. It is like, you go with a stomach pain or some other sickness to the doctor, and the doctor gives any medicine that he wants, except the one which can solve your problem. Why? Because this pharmaceutical company is giving me a lot of money to give this medicine. I don't know whether it works or not. That's why it's called practicing medicine. And they practice medicine on you. Because they don't know. It'll work or not. We'll find out. To such doctors, you will not go next time. You are practicing medicine on me. What is your problem? And appropriately, I should have the experience. Okay, I have done this. It is proven to be effective. Therefore, I give it to you. Isn't it? So, the teacher, the guru has to be compassionate to consider the student who is in question, who needs help. And dispassionately he has to do it. With no intention to gain anything out of it. Not a recognition, not an applause, not a respect, not that he will do something to me. No. I help because it needs help. That is compassion. And that comes only when one does not need anything else. That's total dispassion. Ma vaishtavidvan tavanasthyapayah. The teacher says to the student, you don't worry, don't be afraid. Ma vaishta tavanasti apayah. Samsararnava tarane asti upayah. You are suffering, I understand. Don't worry. First of all, the teacher should assure, don't have fear. There is a solution to your. And I am going to teach you that very path which people have passed by before and proved it. Tameva margam tavanirdiṣāmi. That very path which others have gone through and proved it, that alone I am going to teach you. that kripa, that compassion, that love, that empathy is what makes a guru distinct from all others. That is why an acharya or a teacher is different from a guru. An acharya or a teacher teaches everybody. A guru specifically is addressing your need. And or not, it will be generalized. Everyone's need is different. Everybody's degree of suffering or degree of maturity is different. There cannot be common treatment or solution for your problems. It has to be specific, tailor-made. That's why in the Upanishad we find the one-to-one conversation. Stories you can tell 100 people. You will see in Puranas, when Suta Maharishi talks about the glory of the Lord, it is not to one student. There are many hundreds of them sitting there, and he talks about the Katha of Purana, of the Lord's various glories, etc. When it comes to Upanishad, there are not 100 students. One to one. Because he is specifically addressing to the problem the student is going through. That's the doctor give a general medicine. When I was growing up, and I have not gone many times to the dispensary or clinic, but when I used to sit and watch, because of my brother or somebody else, that compounder is one fellow who's nowadays a chemist, supposed to. Anybody comes for any problem, he has got one pink color thing. That is a standard thing. Huh? What is it?
Carbonate mixture.
Carbonate mixture. Same thing. In different quantities, it's the same thing. And it will taste the same thing every time. And it's more psychological. I went to the doctor, gave medicine. It's more psychological, it cures you than actually the medicine. Because the smell of that place itself cures you. I said, I don't want to come again. Let it go. A problem of samsara cannot be solved by general medicine. It has to be specialization. Because each one's suffering is so unique. But what is that which can definitely solve everyone's problem is Atma Jnana. The knowledge of the higher self alone can finally solve everybody's problem. Yajñātva sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati. Having known which, all will be known. But whether you are ready for that or not, that is what the teacher has to find out. Finally, the solution is there, but how do you approach to make the student ready for it? That requires a treatment. Some may be more emotional. Some may be intellectual, some may be very extrovert, like Arjuna, wanting to do. For him, Karma Yoga is what is prescribed, and bring him to the point. So everyone's need is different, everyone's maturity is different, and that understanding must be there in the heart of the compassionate teacher. That's why he is called Karunaā-Saagaraaya. And if you ask personally, we have seen Gurudev how compassionately he had done his entire work. In the beginning stages, when he started his teaching, etc., slowly he found that the need to teach cannot be completed by himself alone. Samasta jana kalyane niratam karunamayam. His understanding is, I need to serve maximum number of people for their own complete benefit. Samasta jana kalyane niratam. For the welfare of all living beings, all beings. In that he was reveling. Karunamayam. Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Sadguru. You should not be a sad guru. In English, when you write sad guru, you cannot be a sad guru. So when he was thus working and finding out that it is hard for him to reach out to the people by himself, then he started Sandipani, a teaching center. And that too in a wildest place in Bombay, Powai, in the 60s, is in the outskirts of the city, and nobody will even go. It's all forest and lake. And that's quite far away from the main city. And many people ask this question, Swamiji, why are you starting this ashram or institution in the wild place? So his answer immediately was, I am bringing the wild people to make them mild. Because the youngsters who wanted to learn are very extrovert youngsters. I have to bring them here, tame them, train them, give them the right knowledge and sending them back. And while thus he was doing the training, the first course that he started in 1962 or so, it took 6 years for him to complete. You know why? Because every 15 days after teaching, you will have to go out to make available the funds for next 15 days. Because nobody else is there. He will go and conduct lectures and ask for money and then collect the money, come back and then give food and other things to the students and teach. And I know people who have taken him, during those people who have seen him at that time, he will have a morning class at around 4 or 5 o'clock, 5 to 6:30 or 6 to 7:30, whatever. Then he will have a quick breakfast and go to the city and conduct a morning class for people who are interested to learn Upanishad. And the city drive is almost 1.5 hours, 2 hours, like from LA, from Rameshwaram to here, 1.5 hours, 2 hours. 2 hours he will travel and he will go and conduct class there. And then he will stay back and then he will have the evening class between 6:30 to 8. Yajna, talk in the evening about Gita. And then have Bhiksha and stay back in that somebody's house. Morning 4 o'clock he will travel back to Powai to conduct the class for the children. And he was doing for years, year after year, out of sheer compassion. That I need to give this knowledge. Not only the general people, but also train people to give that. And those who studied at that time, they know how much of struggle he took, how much of effort he took to make it happen. Writing letters personally, giving lectures, making sure that people understand the need of it, building the ashram brick by brick. Every tree that is there in the Powai ashram, the old trees are all, he himself planted them. I remember very distinctly, this instance very green in my mind. We have in our ashram, there is a open theatre. You might have seen open theatre on the top, those who have gone to Powai. And then that open theatre where sometimes we have some events. So when I was a student, I used to be the person who will push the wheelchair of Gurudev. And when you are going up into that, it's a ramp, and when you're going up, you cannot push, you have to, what you need to do is, you have to stay behind and push it up. And while coming also, you stay behind and slowly come down. Otherwise you cannot go. So both the times you have to stay behind, push it up and push it. I remember when I was thus taking Gurudev for a program up into that ramp towards that. I was pushing him slowly. And in that path of this very ramp, there was one branch of a tree was coming like this. And so Swamiji has to duck so that it won't hurt. So the manager of the ashram, he said, Swamiji, this tree and the branch is coming on the way. Can I cut it? I'll cut your hand. That is his answer, immediate answer. I'll cut your hand if you do that. The idea is that everything, not only human, but everything that is there, even the tree, he considers that is a living entity. Don't touch it. Trim it, don't cut it. Because I consider that also equally important in my ashram. Everything is to be considered as Bhagavan only. Other than the Lord, nothing else exists. Mindlessly we are destroying the environment. Without that consideration, the living entity is there around us. So the Karuna does not mean only teaching. Karuna is in treating. In treating people with the right kind of love and compassion. That's what he taught us constantly. Another occasion when I was in a very big program, Gurudev completed his talk and his car was on the back side of the temple in Bangalore. And so I finished, after he finished, I started pushing his wheelchair and people were finishing and going. So out of, my, feeling that Swamiji should be given, space. So I said to the people, please move aside, Swamiji is coming. No, don't do that. He turned to me and said, and I just didn't say anything. Why should I be given importance? I am like anybody else. Let them go, I will go, there's no hurry. Why should I be given importance of everybody should move around, therefore am I a king or what? I am a servant, always. See, immediately the teaching. Don't think yourself great because you are sitting on the platform, others are sitting down. You are equally stupid. Bhagavan has given some compassion to make you his vakta. That's all it is. Another person has a shrota. You are a speaker and another person is a listener. But he alone is making you do it. Don't you ever have that arrogance. And he just waited. Let them go. Let us wait. Nothing is said. So many different ways he shows that the compassion alone is a true heart of a saint. However much you have studied, however much knowledge you have, if you have the arrogance, you will lose that very knowledge itself. The very heart in which the knowledge stays must be a heart of compassion. That was Gurudev. So that's why when we read these names, the reflection should take place. You go on, Ajay Namah, Avya Namah, Avinash Namah, that's what we do. Every word that we utter has got so much of depth and so much of understanding of the personality. Karunaaa-Saagaraaya Namah, Krupa-Saagaraaya Namah. One who has infinite compassion. Is it not because of that infinite compassion he started Bal-Vihar? The very concept itself was from out of his compassion. That the children should learn about our culture. Let the children gain from the very beginning itself that correct knowledge. That will give them the strength to face these uncertainties of the life. They must become strong enough to face everything in their life. And the youth, and the adults, and the schools, and the hospitals, and then community programs. All different things, different ways of serving the community as much as possible. As a work of Narayana only. That was the way Gurudev lived, and looking at such a great master, we come to emulate those qualities, and that is the purpose of this exercise. Thank you for the hosts who have made this simple program possible, by which we understand what a true saint is and how compassionate he is. ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री